Happy New Year to all the wonderful people watching this video. Whilst having some quality time with my family during the Christmas period, I found myself thinking about what type of video I would like to make to usher in the new year. So after some thinking, I thought that the best type of video would probably be one where I put the spirit of why I made this channel in the first place completely out there. And what better way to get more people interested in anime than a good old top 10 list. I used to watch tons of these back in the day, so I thought, why the hell not, I'll make one of my own. In this video I will give you 10 anime with at least 3 seasons to binge, rewatch or watch for the very first time in 2026. This list is probably very me-coded and not at all in any particular order from best to worst, but I think there will be plenty of people out there who also enjoy my picks for these entries. But let's not dilly-dally any longer, let's get started with the first entry. Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, or DanMachi for short, is a fantasy anime that has performed very well across all of its 5 seasons thus far. The story follows our lovable protagonist Belle, an adventurer in the city of heroes Orario. Belle is the only member of the Hestia Familia with dreams of becoming a grand adventurer himself. With the support of his goddess and the many friends he will make along the way, he is sure to climb higher and higher through the adventurer ranks. DanMachi is the ideal anime for a just casual fantasy fan who wants to experience a longer story than usual featuring a myriad of recurring characters. The general setting of this show is rather light-hearted, but it does have more than enough deeper and more serious moments to entertain you. As of right now, this anime has 5 seasons, each with around 13 episodes. But season 4 is split into 2 parts, so you actually get 6 seasons worth of watch time with DanMachi, but technically speaking it's 5 seasons, and I would definitely not be surprised if more seasons will follow suit. Welcome to Demon School is a fantasy anime that is one of my favorites on this list for how casual it is to watch. The story follows the unluckiest human boy ever when his unluckiness culminates in his parents selling him off to an actual demon for a Scooby snack. Iruma, at this point thinking his life is over, gets the surprise of a lifetime when he realizes the demon actually wants to adopt him as his grandson, and he will even get to attend the Babylus School for Demons. There is just one teeny tiny problem. Humans are absolutely forbidden from stepping foot in the netherworld. Will Iruma be able to hide the fact that he is in fact a human? I guess you would have to watch the show to find out. This show is something you can watch alone, watch with your partner, watch with your friends, or even watch with your kids. There is no NSFW content at all in this show, so if you like a fantasy setting with a light-hearted storyline and some comedy thrown in, Welcome to Demon School might just be the show for you. As of right now, this anime has 3 seasons, each with around 23 episodes and a 4th season in development as we speak. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is one of the single coolest and wackiest shows I could ever recommend to pretty much anyone out there. JoJo's is an anthology series featuring several different JoJo's on their own interconnected bizarre adventures. This show is best described as a male anime fan's wet dream, to be honest. I mean female anime fans as well, there's plenty of husbandos in there. It has everything you could ever want. Fierce battles, incredibly cool power systems, lovable characters, good comedy, great animation, a unique art style, and the craziest scenarios you honestly can't even imagine. Admittedly, the story can be a bit rough to get into, especially in the beginning. This story is sure to cause a couple of people to scratch their heads and think to themselves what the hell they're watching, especially in the beginning. But I promise you that if you just watch the show in its entirety, you will join our cult. I mean the fandom of being obsessed with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. As of right now, this anime has 6 seasons, each with around 23 episodes and a 7th season in development as we speak. But due to Netflix splitting the 5th season in 3 parts, you can technically count this as 9 seasons, but if you go by the way the parts are written, it's really 6 parts that have been animated thus far, with the 7th part on the way as we speak. Alright guys, time to fanboy for a bit. ReZero is easily my favorite isekai show, to the point that my illiterate ass actually read the entire light novel up to arc 9. In ReZero, we follow the most shit-on by life individual ever. Natsuki Subaru is just doomer maxing at the supermarket at 3 AM, as we all do, when all of a sudden he finds himself in a totally unfamiliar place filled with the fantasy elements he always saw in the games he played. Subaru naturally thinks it's his time to finally shine and live out his fantasies. But oh boy. He could not be more wrong. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to ReZero Watching Subaru Suffer Repeatedly Simulator. If you like fantasy stories with a unique twist and a more general, I want to say darker vibe to them, I think you will also really like ReZero. This anime mixes a serious tone with lighthearted elements to confuse the shit out of your feelings. And as a bonus, all the characters are also pretty unique and have personalities that you will remember. As of right now, this anime has 4 seasons, with total episodes varying between 12 and 25 per season, with a 5th season currently on its way. This entry is kind of a strange one. The Monogatari franchise is incredibly popular in Japan, but has far less exposure in the West, which is pretty strange to me because it's actually a very unique and interesting show. The story follows the exploits of Koyomi Araragi, a high schooler who survived a vampire attack and managed to retain his humanity. But he is not exactly a typical normal human either. Several side effects such as superhuman healing and enhanced vision still remain. This franchise follows Araragi as he helps other people with their own encounters with the supernatural. Along the way, you will meet many extraordinary characters together with Araragi, and maybe you will even learn a secret or two about them. One of the biggest highlights about the Monogatari franchise is the extremely unique art direction the show takes. Note that I said art direction, not necessarily art style here. There is a lot of style frame usage and super unique jump cuts throughout this franchise. I am a huge fan of unique looking anime, and the Monogatari franchise aesthetic is pretty unforgettable in its uniqueness. So if you like a show with a complex story and a show that is not afraid to push boundaries both storyline wise and aesthetics wise, the Monogatari franchise just might be worth a watch for you. As of right now, this anime has 3 movies, 6 specials and 5 seasons, with another entry in development as we speak. Plenty to watch. Alright fellas, time for me to shamelessly shill one of my favorite franchises once again. It's almost like I handpicked some of the things on this list. The Toaru franchise is another case of lots of popularity in Japan, but not a lot of it in the West. But I promise you, it's a fun show with a unique environment. The show follows multiple main characters over multiple entries in the franchise, allowing you to watch the shows in pretty much any order without being scared of missing too much. The 3 main entries are a certain scientific railgun, a certain magical index, and a certain scientific accelerator. The names of these entries kind of give away a part of the plot here as well. Most of the events in this franchise take place in the fictional Academy City, a place where science dominates every aspect of life. But behind the scenes, the church-based magical side of things is also very much present. Science versus magic is the end-all be-all theme of the Toaru franchise, and it's visualized in complex dilemmas, visually appealing environments and super cool fight scenes. If you enjoy an anime which you can actually watch from both perspectives with 2 different franchise entries, then the Toaru franchise is definitely worth taking a look at. As of right now, a certain magical index has 3 seasons, a certain scientific railgun has 3 seasons with a 4th on the way, and a certain scientific accelerator has 1 season. And the entire franchise has multiple special like OVA episodes as well, which kind of interconnect the stories even more. There we go. Can't have me making a list about longer anime without me doxing myself as a massive Fate fanboy. I doubt there are many people out there who have never seen or heard about the Fate franchise before. I mean, even in the West, Fate is pretty damn popular, and for a good reason, if you ask me of course. The premise of Fate revolves around the Holy Grail War, a magical 7-duo free-for-all between the heroes of legends we all know. Arash, Karna, Gilgamesh, King Arthur, Napoleon, Charlemagne, etc. All of these legendary figures duke it out for one and one thing only, an omnipotent wish-granting device in the form of the Holy Grail. The Fate franchise itself offers hundreds of incredible characters with nice and expansive backstories to drown yourself in. But the franchise has one pretty glaring weakness. It's pretty overwhelming for new people to just step into. But fear not, my sweet children, I have actually made a video dedicated to explaining the entire Fate timeline for exactly this type of occasion in the past. But to be totally honest, the best way to just start the Fate franchise is to pick the installment which seems the most fun to you and watch it. Ignore everyone telling you to watch X first or watch Y first, or you first have to watch A, B and C. Just watch it in any order you like. Most Fate entries can be watched as standalone stories perfectly fine. As of right now, the entire Fate franchise has well over 10 different installments to enjoy, and if you really end up liking this world building, you can also delve deeper into the so-called Nasuverse with anime like Tsukihime and Witch on a Holy Night, which canonically take place in the same universe as Fate. This entry is kind of a doozy. Dog Days is actually the second anime I ever watched aside from stuff like Pokemon, so it definitely has me caught with my nostalgia goggles on. Dog Days is a pretty old isekai anime following the adventures of Shinku in the magical kingdom of Flonyard, a place populated by animal-eared people. Flonyard itself is in a state of war. The Republic of Biscotti, a union of dog-like citizens, has come under attack by the feline forces of the Galette Leo Knights. Princess Meliore of Biscotti decides that in order to win this war, she needs a hero by her side. Enter Shinku, a young and promising athlete who gets called to Biscotti to bring victory. But here's the catch. Wars in Flonyard are not like our regular boring wars. Their wars are athletic competitions crossed with stuff like Wipeout. Will Shinku be able to help Biscotti win this war? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Dog Days is really a show that you can watch super casually without too much investment, you know. It's simply a fun show that you can watch at your leisure without having to learn the backstory of every little tree branch to completely understand the story. As of right now, this anime has 3 seasons of 13 episodes each to watch with no new season in sight. Now, this entry is a pretty wholesome one. Natsume's Book of Friends follows a lonely young man with a special ability. He can see and talk to spirits of all different kinds. He dedicates his free time to freeing the spirits from his grandmother's Book of Friends, as well as protecting the book from any who might want to use it in less than amicable ways. Natsume's Book of Friends is a show that can be best summarized as just wholesome and heartwarming. If you want something without a lot of flashy acting but rather a slower pace and a good story to boot, I think Natsume's Book of Friends would be a very good watch for you. This is also once again an anime that you can very comfortably watch with maybe a family member, maybe a friend, maybe a partner, maybe a child even. It's just a very suitable show to watch for all ages really. As of right now, this anime has 6 seasons of about 15 episodes each. And we have already arrived at the 10th and final entry on this list. Inazuma 11 follows the legendary story of Endo Mamoru, a goalkeeper with a love for soccer and ambitions that reach far out into the sky. We follow Endo as he gathers teammates and tackles the corrupt systems behind the soccer world. But soccer in Inazuma 11 is a little different from the soccer you might know. In Inazuma 11, you can kick a ball so hard it summons a goddamn fire-breathing Pegasus as it soars towards the enemy's goalpost. I'm not exaggerating when I say that I tried to fire off hundreds of Hisatsu shoots throughout my younger years, and I don't even like soccer all that much. Inazuma 11 is the absolute peak of sports anime for me personally. It has everything I could ever ask for. It has good characters, great animation, super cool techniques, a surprisingly neat story, and it drags you along as you grow with the cast themselves. This anime is more so geared towards a younger audience, but you can totally enjoy it as an adult watching it as well. But watching it with your kids or a younger sibling is also a very cool experience. As of right now, this anime has 6 seasons and 6 movies, totaling around 343 episodes of peak sports anime to watch. And there you have it, 10 longer anime to watch or rewatch in 2026. If you do have a recommendation you would like to share of your own, please let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this type of content and wish to see more of it in the future, please let me know by liking the video, subscribing and maybe leaving a comment with your thoughts. I will see you all again in the next video. Thank you for watching.